Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour. I took my Richmond, these are the soft pastels, this is the landscape set in 40, and I decided to do portraits. Portraits are something I really love doing. I'm not good at landscapes, so why I decided in my infinite wisdom to purchase a landscape set was because dream me and reality me are not the same. But I'm working on this portion. I'm just not there yet. So, to compromise, to cycle through all my art supplies evenly like I wanted to this year, and to give these guys a fair shake, I went ahead and used these for portraits. Now, these aren't like the widest variety of color, and a lot of these colors don't show, so I opted for the darker values to make sure that there was a wider value range within each portrait, but it left my color palette very limited, and you will see as I go through the sketchbook. The other supplies I used were cotton swabs, Q-tips, and that's what I used to smear them on. I used this eraser. This is the Mono Zero, the 2.3. It's very tiny for details. It helped a lot, especially with like eye shine and things like that. For labeling, I used my fine liner. This is the Rotring Isograph. And then because I created on a very smooth surface, lots and lots of fixative spray. Now, I don't know that this is the best one. I did 2 coats for each page to make sure it would stay on, so it's a lot of fixative spray. And then I created on the Midori MD notebook. This is the A5, and it's the blank paper. So you can see where I did the ink for portraits. And these are 2 different people that I tried to line up, but you can see sort of like different jaw, straight hair versus curly. The eye shape is different. Okay, I don't know that that was successful. I probably should have done like a larger contrast of like pink and blue. I also have the clear plastic cover because my desk gets nasty, and I thought this would protect it better. So here are the end papers, and then I started this April 21st, and I didn't finish this until April 7th. So technically this is my March challenge, even though this took 6 weeks. But when you realize this is 88 pages, single-sided, plus this one and this one, I did 90 portraits. Let's get started. It's going to be a lot of portraits, so I hope you're okay with that. And they're monochromatic. I tried the dark value green, and I realized very quickly that this is sort of synonymous with like Wicked Witches, and I didn't have any commentary I was trying to do with this. I was just trying to use my pastel set, and I was trying to create portraits that I love. So I quickly dropped the green because I don't like what it says. And you will notice as I go through these that there aren't any side profile views. I didn't do anything like that. I just had no desire, so it's sort of front facing or 3/4 view. There are none from like the back looking over the shoulder. Here I tried a middle value orange. It's really pale. I hope it shows up on camera, but there's only one of them, so if it doesn't show up, don't feel bad. There we go. Darker value. You can see you get a darker, wider range of color as you create. And this is a very bright pink. The pinks in this set of the 2 that I used are incredibly staining. It's the same with the dark blue. It's very staining. So when you go to lay down a little bit of color, if you decide, ooh, I don't like that placement, and you try and lift it with an eraser of some sort, it won't lift. It's there for life. So congratulations, you've made a choice. Now you have to live with it. But it does build, it's like creating and drawing with pens. You can't really erase pens. I'm not talking about you, the Frisson. I'm not talking about those. But for the most part, you can't erase pens. And so you have to live with what you've done. Again, this is another one that's too light, and I did not do this color again. I tried real hard though. But I just think like the darker the value, the more you get out of it. Curly hair don't care. I didn't do a lot, excuse me, with really wild hairstyles because I feel like the crazier the hair, Like if you're doing something like crazy hair day and you're putting pipe cleaners in your pigtails and they're curled around, like they're super wild. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like really wild hair. It tends to distract. I can't figure out why this one looks so two-tone within that pastel, but it distracts from the portrait, from the face. So I try not to do, I know, lots and lots of spray fixative. I try not to do crazy hair. I also try not to do too much jewelry. You can get lost in the process of adding all the accessories, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're an artist and you really love jewelry design and some of the unique things you can use to embellish your person, that would be something to consider. The same goes for like hair accessories. And see here I have a little bit of a turtleneck, but hair accessories like hair clips, crowns, tiaras. Here's sort of a little bit of a hat, and they're enjoying the sunshine on their face. I mean, same, me too. And then you get into like eyes closed, eyes open, facial expressions. I didn't do any goofy, funny facial expressions. That's a choice. That is something you can very much decide to do or not do. You can decide how much clothing you want to include. I kind of just went for a little portion of neck for most of these and then moved on. Again, I just really wanted to hone in on the face. I hate doing teeth. Hello, my name's Kendra and I hate drawing teeth so much. I don't like it. I feel like it always looks dirty and that's not my intent. So I try not to do too many teeth. And there aren't a lot in here, and I don't think I did it successfully. And again, it's something that I hate, so I need to do it. I need more practice, and I don't practice enough. So I definitely didn't use this as the opportunity it could have been to hone in on things I'm not good at. I just went for comfort level and creating and finding people that I thought, well, I like the shape of your face. I like the shadows. I like the highlights. I think this will teach me something if I try it. I worked on ears. Obviously, I don't love doing both ears. I love a little asymmetrical look. So we kind of get a little bit of side eye a little bit. Yeah, just a lot of people. And I toggled between 2 blues, 2 pinks, and 3 different browns. This one has a very red base. There's one that's this one's very green based. It's very green based brown, and that's all right. You can see the amount of spray fixative. Here's a very yellow based brown. So I didn't toggle through a ton of colors. When I first started doing these, they were taking me anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. And then by the time I was done, all of them were an hour. 1 hour a page. And then 20 minutes for drying time between 2 layers of spray fixative, because this is a very smooth surface. But I made the deal with myself a long time ago that I would never buy specialty paper that was only for one medium. So I don't own pastel matte. Now I could have done Arches cold press, like 100% cotton watercolor paper, which works really well with pastels, but I don't have that much. I don't have that much watercolor paper. See, teeth. I'm not good. This wasn't good. I apologize, lovely lady. I'm so sorry. I meant well. I got these references off Pinterest. A lot of these are models, like they're professional model shots. So as far as body size and shape, it's pretty much one shape because we're very choosy in the United States and other countries of who they choose to be models, but I did that for consent reasons. So I didn't pick random people off the internet and was like, I'm just gonna draw their face and hope they never see this, which they probably never would, but I feel like models consent to having their face shown. So I'm hoping they're not offended by this. I did my best. I did my best. It's, again, the pieces are like broken chapstick shape. So I really had to use the cotton swabs to try and get in there for the detail. And then you can see where I go back in and I erase for highlight for things like hair and eye shine and things like that. This is probably one of my favorite colors. I love that color. So pretty. But I could have done one. I mean, Yeah. The other thing is clothing. Like, how much clothing do you want to show? This is one of my favorite ones, I think. Do you want to show like collar or tie, or see, I have a little bit of weird hair. A little bit of hair. I didn't get too creative. I don't know. It gets too distracting. I did her twice. I didn't like the first one, so I did her again. When you're picky, but only you know it. The other thing is eyes closed. Some of them I think it works. Some of them I'm like, do they look deceased? I worry about that. Oh shoot, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I had to sneeze. The winds, it's really, really windy today, and it's kicking up all this stuff. So I'm really hoping that's the only one. I loved her hair. I loved her hair so much. Such a beautiful lady. And then you get to choose. I didn't also, because I chose models, there isn't a huge age variance. I don't have like children, I don't have elderly, even though they should be, elderly should absolutely be included as models. That's a huge portion of our population. Let's not be ageist about it. Yeah, so I kind of have one age group, kind of one facial structure. Like, it's not a lot of variance of like size of person. So she looks like she's up to shenanigans. Oh, let's go do things together. Let's go book shopping. I want to take her book shopping. Yeah, and the other thing to consider is like embellishments, like eyelash extensions. Like, some of these I really played up the eyelashes more than others, and some, like this one, I don't have any eyelashes. Like how teased and shaped some of these eyebrows are. Again, models, that's their face and that's what they're selling to you. So they're going to be perfectly uniform. But if you're going for like more natural, if you're doing portraits of family, of friends, again, I went monochromatic with it because I have such a limited, I'm making a landscape palette work for portraits. And I just felt like this was the easiest compromise with time constraints and the sheer amount of pages. There's just a lot of pages. But I learned a lot. Again, I love portraits. I love people. People have no idea. The other thing is, like, how distracting do you want the facial expressions to be? Like, he's kind of pouty and I'm here for it. But if you start doing things like, you know, puckered lips or sticking the tongue out or things like that, do you show hands? It's also a little stuck. You get hands in there, and then that kind of, I feel like hands detract from portraits. So I didn't really, and a lot of people when they pose, put their hand by their face or under their chin or off to the side. Like, a lot of people, you know, they include their hands, and I really tried to avoid that if at all possible. So you're just straight up staring at the person staring at you. It's in your face. I think people are incredibly attractive. I think everyone is absolutely beautiful. I'm not biased. I just understand the reality that people are stunning, and whatever shape your face is in, it's perfection. So I really went with the highlights on this one, and I think that one was a success. So I really like this one too. You get into the smirks and some of the grins, and you almost don't see the rest of the face because you're looking at that facial expression going, what do they know that I don't know? They know something. Something's going on. Up style. Up hairdos. I can do some of them. I'm not good with a lot of different hairstyles. I try to keep them ethnically accurate. Like, certain groups culturally, certain groups have different styles and things they do and use, and some groups don't. I tried to go for accuracy with that, so as to represent but not be disrespectful. Again, trying my best. That's all we could do at this point. So yeah, this was 180 hours of my life. Welcome to my March challenge. It was a challenge. It was a lot of fun. I absolutely enjoyed doing these. If you are interested in portraits, again, Pinterest is a free webpage where you can get tons of different ideas. If you want to do something funky, like you want to include glasses, or you want to include hats or visors or facial piercings or facial tattoos, like there's a ton of things you can include that I did not do. I just didn't do a lot of that. I just really wanted the face, and I've spent a lot of time working on cheeks, cheeks, chins, and ears. I have a lot of trouble, so sometimes I don't include an ear. It's a cop-out. Shh, don't tell anybody. And sometimes I only include the one. So, again, these are sort of choices. And then here's the end paper. So, this is all of them. This is my March challenge. And I thought about going back over with my fine liner and adding little robot things and having this be March of the Robots. But I just decided, like, some of these, like, they're just, like, they're living their best life. Like, as is. I don't need to add nuts, bolts, and gears. So, yeah. This is my challenge. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. There's going to be another sketchbook tour next week just because my April challenge was so quick. But this is how I chose to do March. This is how I chose to use a landscape set. Our imagination is our limit with the supplies we have and what we're trying to do. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.